In April 2017, a penguin fell in love with a waifu. The Tobu Zoo had placed 60 cardboard cutouts of characters from the anime Kimono Friends around to attract guests. One of these cutouts was Hululu, an anthropomorphic penguin, and a penguin named Grape was fascinated with it, staring for hours, often reaching out to make contact with the figure. Zookeepers even had to separate the two so the penguin could eat. Grape, eventually called Grape-kun, loved that character, and the internet loved him too. He became a meme and an online celebrity, even getting a visit from Ikuko Chinkuda, the voice actor for the character. A festival was planned to honor him, but in October of that year, he passed away. The internet reacted to the penguin's passing, drawing fan art of him and his waifu, and the zoo placed new cardboard cutouts of the two, side by side, together for all to see, in that penguin exhibit where they first met. A story like that is surreal, right? Something you could only expect from the internet. And on the surface, it's a wholesome story, sweet even. But reality is not always sweet. The truth was, Grape once had a mate named Midori, and they had a chick together. But the child was separated from their parents. Zookeepers cited inbreeding as the main point of concern. The loss of their child hit them pretty hard, which was speculated to lead Midori to leave Grape after 10 years of being together for a younger male. This act led the other penguins at the exhibit to shun Grape, leading him to spend most of his time isolated from the others. When Hululu was introduced to the zoo, Grape was 21 years old, and the average life expectancy for a penguin is 15 to 20 years. And this story had a happy ending, but there's something about it that I find really sad. Not the "that's pathetic" sad, but sad as in, I want to give you a big ol' hug sad. That pain of child abduction and your partner leaving you, isolating you from your peers, is already bad enough. But the part that gets me is how the last thing he cherished, which he loved with all his heart, was a cardboard cutout. Something that could never express how it felt. That piece of cardboard was kept at a distance, and all he could do was stare and imagine a place better than he was now. Doki Doki Literature Club is a free visual novel where you join a club with cute anime girls. There's Sayori, your childhood friend and vice president of the club, with a ditzy and welcoming demeanor. Yuri is the shy club member whose nervousness around others melts away when talking about her passions. Natsuki is a more abrasive person who totally does not care about if you like what she creates. No way, that's crazy, I can't believe you'd even bring that up, but hypothetically, what do you think about her? And of course, the club president, Monika, the type of person who your character will call out of their league. The protagonist isn't joining the club because of their passion for the material, but instead, it's more of an, "oh sweet, there are cute girls in the club, alright, cool." But sometimes, that's all you need to get into something you'll enjoy. You're asked to write a poem early on, picking 20 words to communicate your message, and seeing as you're watching a video, and maybe joining the club, I think it's only fair if I share mine as a sample. Hello, Literature Club. Today, I will be reading my poetry with you all. We couldn't get the club room at late notice. Today, I will be reading you a poem I wrote called My Poem. Fascinating title, I know. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did making it. Fireflies explode kawaii. Holiday swimsuit analysis. Sunset shame heart. Family passion landscape. Disown tears. Skirt. Puppy Doki Doki philosophy. Crimson treasure. Holy shit, dude, call William Blake because, damn man, those are some bars. It's a charming game that's pretty fun. The music is catchy and the atmosphere is great. And you have an idea of what to expect. For the first part, what makes Doki Doki Literature Club so fascinating is its original premise and how the game twists it into something entirely different. Before I go further, I'll be talking about the later section of the game, and if you still need to play it, I may ruin that surprise for you. It's free, and it may be one of the most surreal experiences with video games you have ever had. If you want to leave and try it out for yourself, go for it. I'll leave a Steam link in the description below. But if you're ready to brave this experience, whether as a senior member or just out of curiosity, let's do this. So a few days in the club and things are pretty good. You write sick poems to get closer to one of the club members. But as you keep playing, the fun slice of life visual novel begins to shift and morph into something much darker and sinister. But at first, this occurs slowly. The player character's childhood friend Sayori seems more withdrawn than usual, and when you check in with her, she tells you she's been going through some stuff for quite a while. That bubbly persona she has is just a way to mask the pain. The dialogue in this exchange is sobering. It could have fallen flat in the hands of an unskilled writer, but the creator of the game, Dan Salvato, nails it here, and it made me, the person looking through the screen, want to see her get through this. But that's an outcome that won't occur. That same day, you have plans with one of the club members to prepare for a festival. It's a moment of fun, but in the back of your mind, you may still be thinking of Sayori and how that image of this milquetoast visual novel is beginning to crack. And the next day, that image completely shatters. It's the day of the festival, and Sayori hasn't arrived at school yet. So you go to her house, walk into her room, and I can't show you what's behind the door. But Sayori is gone, and you see this when the title screen is shown. This is when you realize you're not playing the game, it's playing you. For the rest of the experience, you'll click through each text box in anticipation of what will happen next. Cutscenes will play out differently than before, and it seems like the game itself is breaking around you. And throughout it all, while everyone seems much different than before, highlighting their worst aspects, there's Monika. When I think about antagonists in video games, the villains that get me the most are not the smartest or the most powerful, but the ones that emotionally affect me as the player. The player character can have the most intense life or death battle with a villain, but if I'm not feeling that struggle, if I'm not invested in this confrontation, I feel the worst thing a story can produce: apathy. If I don't care about what's gonna happen, why should I even bother playing when I could be spending my time doing something else? And this is incredibly subjective, but I believe any type of villain can achieve this. This could include straightforward I am bad guy that is presented so effectively that you just want to kick their ass. My favorite examples are Ganon from Wind Waker, Silver from Pokémon, and Handsome Jack from Borderlands. Or complex villains, ones you are in conflict with but have a point. Criticisms about the status quo that you can acknowledge there's some merit to their perspective. Characters that have filled this role for me include Emmett Selk from Final Fantasy XIV, Dutch from Red Dead Redemption, and Caesar from Fallout New Vegas. Then there are villains who don't play by the rules. Their effectiveness doesn't come from how they affect you as the player, but how they affect you as a person. Monika is a villain that fits into this category. She doesn't confront you out of hatred, but a twisted form of affection. Monika loves you so much that she changes the characters and the game itself to make you love her. From forcing you to pick her text boxes and spending time with her, telling her what she wants to hear no matter your personal feelings. And as I was typing this script and reading it aloud, I would keep saying Makima instead of Monika, which is funny because both characters are really similar. Both seem crazy similarity, right? At a certain point in the game, everything melts away. All the other characters are gone, the festival never happens, and the club means nothing. It's just you staring back at Monika. You have become the object of a never-ending infatuation by a being that can never understand what love is, a fantasy that will continue for as long as it exists. And that idea terrifies me. The rise of the internet has led to a lot of great things. It allows people to connect in a way that was never possible before. But while in some cases excellent, there's also a dark side. Because of how convenient it is, it should be no surprise that people and companies have found ways to monetize connections. Putting yourself out there in real life to meet someone can be challenging, it can be scary, and where do you even start? Why put yourself out there if you could just fall in love with a fantasy, all from the comforts of your home? A fictional character who's just so perfect that anything else is blasphemy. A streamer who will say how you mean so much to them. Or a virtual companion who will always love you, no matter who you are. And all of this and more are available after the question, what is your billing information? I don't mean this to come across as a cynical take on connection through the internet. Far from it. These things can be great in small doses. But it's a balance that needs to be tread carefully for everyone, and I don't hear many people saying that. In many online circles, the concepts of waifus and husbandos get thrown around quite a bit. The idea of being attracted to a fictional character and having them be your partner. Most of the time, it's used as a joke or a lighthearted comment, all in good fun. But with how common those terms are thrown around on the internet, it borders on no longer being just a joke. I'm sure you've seen images of the stereotypical weeaboo, the type of person who brings a body pillow of their preferred fictional character into a restaurant, usually shown as someone to be mocked. And I really hate how this is a thing. I don't see people to laugh at. I see vulnerable, scared people who have been kicked so many times they retreat to a fantasy to feel safe and happy. Who, for whatever reason, when given the option for real connections or seemingly perfect manufactured copies that will never change and grow with you, they choose the latter without hesitation. And I want to preface what I'm saying with a clarification. There's nothing wrong with enjoying that stuff. That can be awesome, and like what you want to like. Don't let my tone of this change the things you enjoy. But when that thing you love is no longer just something you enjoy, when it becomes your reality, when you can't distinguish between fictional relationships and those you have with other people, it's approaching an unhealthy point. And the ones I'm really scared for are the kids growing up alongside the internet. Their formative years being spent in front of a screen with barrages of manufactured fantasies. Those who are indoctrinated in the mindset that the only companionship worth having are the perfect ones, who will love you all the time, even if they know nothing about you. When I look at Monika during this section, I don't just see the image of an anime girl looking at me menacingly. Wow, what a sentence. I see Grape-kun looking up at a cardboard cutout that will never love him back. I see someone taking a body pillow out to dinner for a 3rd anniversary, and I see an adult saying with complete sincerity that they're waiting to date until technology has advanced that their husbando can be real. That idea is the scariest thing to me in Doki Doki Literature Club. Not the jump scares, not the imagery, but the embodiment of a fantasy that loves you and wants to be with you forever. Being in that room with Monika will be the last thing that happens. Unless you let go of the fantasy. Monika tells you she deleted everyone in the game by accessing their character files in the game settings. And if you want to see those credits, you must do the same thing. The game never directly tells you to do it. That's something you come to yourself. A fantasy can be great, wonderful even, but it's only great when you acknowledge it for what it is. Life can suck really bad, but it can also be incredible in ways you could have never expected. But the only way to get the latter is if you experience the former. You need to see the bad to understand the importance of the good. I don't know your circumstances, and I will never claim that I do. But I will say that your life is your own, and you deserve better than a manufactured version of reality. No matter the person you are worthy of being loved, in any form. Don't sell yourself short on that. We're all huge works in progress. But if you're feeling isolated and alone, please know it's normal to feel that way from time to time. There's nothing wrong with you if you do. And remember, that feeling won't last forever. You will smile again. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the things you like. It's important to experience art you cherish. It's one of the enormous pros of being alive. But don't forget to live the life you've been given. It may just surprise you. All you have to do is try. When you delete Monika's character file, she's furious, but will realize it's the kindest fate for both of you. You and this character are two different beings, and it would be impossible to exist the way you both need. Because one way or another, both of you are saying goodbye to this club. Doki Doki Literature Club is a weird game, and that's why I love it. It's something made with passion for a game genre that, while I'm not the most experienced, I can appreciate immensely. And I want to highlight that passion by reading you a letter. If you beat Doki Doki Literature Club and do every club member's romance options, you receive this note I obtained years ago, and I want to share with you. To the special player who achieved this ending. For years, I've been enamored by the ability of visual novels, and games in general, to tell stories in ways not possible using traditional media. Doki Doki Literature Club is my love letter to that. Games are an interactive art. Some let you explore new worlds. Some challenge your mind in broad new ways. Some make you feel like a hero or a friend, even when life is hard on you. Some games are just plain fun. That's okay too. Everyone likes different kinds of games. People who enjoy dating sims may have a heightened empathy for fictional characters, or they might be experiencing feelings that life has not been kind enough to offer them. If they are enjoying themselves, that's all that matters. This goes for shooting games, casual games, sandbox games, anything. Preferences are preferences, and our differences are the reason we have a thriving video game industry. My own favorite games have always been ones that challenge the status quo. Even if not a masterpiece, any game that attempts something wildly different may earn a special place in my heart. Anything that further pushes the limitless bounds of interactive media. I extend my true gratitude to all those who have taken the time to achieve full completion. I hope you enjoyed playing it as much as I did making it. Thank you for being a part of my literature club. Love, Dan Salvato. And that's a message I could totally get behind. Thank you, Mr. Salvato, for creating this. Doki Doki Literature Club is an enjoyable and surreal video game that is an incredible experience for the medium, while also reminding you to love the people you care for in reality, not just the people in game. Take that message with you and keep it close wherever you go. As a former club member, however disturbing it was, I feel all the richer for being a part of it. I joined for the fun fantasy of writing poetry with cute anime girls, stayed for the suspense of what was going to happen next, and left with a reminder that I have so many special people in my life, and I'm really thankful for that. Thank you for watching this video. I'm not sure how this one will turn out, but thanks for checking it out anyway. If this is your first time with the channel, I talk about stuff I'm really into. If you're interested, I'd be honored if you would subscribe to be notified for future videos. Here's a playlist of other video games I really enjoy, and here's one you might be into. Thanks a whole bunch for watching, and take care of yourself.